How's it going, guys? Thanks again for tuning in. The next review is for everyone's favorite character, Aquaman. What's up, guys? DC Toyman again. Thanks again for watching this video, and thanks for being patient with me as I roll out these new videos. So I'm going to start with Aquaman. This is Aquaman from the new 52 Heroes box set. He originally came with a trident, but he was missing that when I bought him. I got him for, this is one of the first toys I bought. I got him for about $5, I think. He's not very well articulated. That's probably my biggest complaint about this character. This figure is more for display or for collecting, but for what it is, it's pretty good for as a collector's item. I like the bright colors in the costume, the orange male shirt. I like the articulation on the arms. I like the overall model and sculpt and design, but the legs and the feet aren't very well articulated. So yeah, the model, the sculpt is good, but yeah. Arthur Curry looks young and virile and strong. He doesn't need his hook hand or his beard from the 90s to make him look respectable. His first appearance was in More Fun Comics number 73 in November of 1941, along with Green Arrow and Speedy. His origin, one of his origins is just that he's the son of a lighthouse keeper and the Queen of Atlantis. And in Aquaman Volume 5, number 2, in September 1994, as I mentioned, he loses his hand and he gets a hook later, but his hand returns after he's resurrected in the Blackest Night storyline. As far as abilities, he can breathe underwater. He communicates telepathically with sea life. He can swim over 1,100 miles per hour underwater. He has enhanced muscle density and strength from living underwater, so he can lift a car and throw it like a football. He has limited sonar ability. His left hand, in some of the storylines, his left hand has healing powers. He also travels through time and space. He can see in almost complete darkness, such as it is underwater. The major storylines, as I mentioned, a couple times already, in the 90s, Aquaman loses his hand to piranhas, and they replace it with a harpoon spearhead, hook hand, harpoon spearhead. We're splitting hairs here. Eventually, he replaces that with a cybernetic hand, and he has a little bit more control of it. In the Justice storyline, Brainiac uses Aquaman for his telepathic abilities, and in Blackest Day, Brightest Night, Arthur Curry's brought back to life, and he helps the White Lantern find a new avatar. The White Lantern resurrects him in Blackest Night, and Aquaman has to find Jackson Hyde in Silver City, New Mexico. Shout out to my home state. He has to find Jackson Hyde to be the new Aqualad before Jackson Hyde's father, Black Manta, finds him. In the New 52, people poke fun at him being a B-lister metahuman. I think it's in issue 1. There's a guy who, pokes fun at Aquaman, and Aquaman just kind of like ignores him and shuts him out. And you can tell he's like kind of still offended by that comment, but he kind of takes it in stride. His villains include, of course, Black Manta being his arch nemesis, but also Ocean Master, who is his half-brother Orm. In movies and TV, he's in a lot of animated stuff. He's in Justice League Unlimited. But he was also in some live action, such as Smallville. I've seen that episode already. He's played by Alan Ritchson, I believe is how you pronounce his name. That actor also played Raphael in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he plays Gloss in Hunger Games: Catching Fire, on a side note. But Aquaman was also in Super Friends, Superman the Animated Series, and Jason Momoa is going to play him in the Superman v Batman Dawn of Justice movie next year, so he'll finally get a live action big screen translation. Reasons why I like him: he is a founding Justice League member even back in the day, but he's not really given much respect. He has a greater importance in the Justice storyline, the Ross and Jim Kruger Justice storyline. There's an article on Business Insider Comics Alliance by Chris Sims, and he digs at Aquaman regarding the competition, as I'll refer to that company. In the late 50s to 61, DC was focused on superheroes, and since they had the most popular superhero ever created, and the second most popular superhero ever created, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and Aquaman, what's the point of even trying to compete with them? How do you even begin to take on Superman? So, again, just a little digs here and there. Aquaman, they make fun of him in Robot Chicken a lot, but he's a little bit of a badass. Aquaman fights the night gods. Basically, he fights Cthulhu every year at about the same time, and he wins. He defends 70% of the Earth alone. And in the pre-New 52, he took out Power Ring, who is Green Lantern's analog in the crime syndicate, and he also doesn't really care about your problems or surface dweller problems in general. He has his own thing going on. He's concerned with defending the ocean. Overall, again, I like this sculpt. I like the model. I like that he's a little bit younger looking. He's going back more to like his roots. But overall, this figure would be good for collecting, but it's not too well articulated. As a collector's piece, I would give it a higher rating, maybe like an A. But as a figure to play with my son playing with him later, I would probably give it more like a B or a B minus, just because of the articulation. Probably more leaning towards like a B. Kind of knocks it down a little bit, just with the lack of articulation in the hips and in the feet, and just kind of makes them a little bit more clunky. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you have any comments, please post them below. Please subscribe, like this video if you like it, and let me know what you want to see with future videos. Thanks.